Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this channel we provide the in-depth knowledge of different programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python, which differentiate you with others. In our series of Java programming language, today we are going to discuss a very important topic: how we can pass a two-dimension array to a function, or how we can return a two-dimension array from a function. So let's start. Please try to concentrate what we are discussing. We can pass two-dimension array to a function by passing the reference. Similarly, we can return a two-dimension array from a function by returning its reference. So what we are saying, whenever you want to pass a two-dimension array to a function, or if you want to return a two-dimension array from a function, the best way is to pass a reference and return a reference. Name of the array is nothing but a reference to an array that we have already discussed in the array class of Java. Now let's discuss this program. Here we are declaring one class called myArray. MyArray is a user defined class defined by us. Public class myArray, public static void main. Java program always start executing from the opening brace of main and terminates with the closing brace of main. In this main function we are defining one array ARR whose type is integer, whose dimension is 2 dimension. In one dimension 10, 20, 30 is stored. In another dimension 40, 50, 60 is stored. Then we are defining one sum integer. Then we are calling a function called getSum, to which we are passing ARR. ARR is a name of the array. Name of the array is a reference to a array, which is returning one integer which will be received in the sum function. Now whenever we make a function call, what happens? The linker links the function call with the function definition, and the control will move down to the definition of the function, and after executing all the statement, when it encounters the closing brace, the control comes back to the same statement from where the function call is made. This we are learning from the C and C++. Okay. So we are making a function called getSum, to which we are passing ARR. ARR is a name of the array, and this getSum function will return the integer value. Now let's see how we have defined the getSum function. In getSum function, what we are writing? Public static int getSum. What does it means? Okay, getSum is a function whose return type is integer, access specifier is public, and it is a static member function. Why? Because we have already learned that static member function can call static member function. So main is what? Main is a static. So if main is a static, so if main want to call this getSum function, we are having two ways. If you want to make this non-static, then in main we have to declare one object of the myArray class, and with that object we will call this getSum function. But there is no need to create an object. We are directly calling the getSum function. That is why we have declared this as a static, which is receiving one reference of two-dimension array in a B, int I comma j, int s is equal to 0. For I equal to 0, I is less than b dot length. Now what is length here? Length is an attribute of an array which returns the number of elements in an array. Getting my point? When I write I equal to 0, I is less than b dot length. The b dot length will return 2. Why 2? Because it is having two one-dimension array, 10, 20, 30 and 40, 50, 60. And when I write b0 dot length, it will return 3, 1, 2 and 3. Getting my point? Then what we have written in getSum function, we are defining two variables of type integer, int I comma j, int s is equal to 0. Int I equal to 0, I is less than b dot length. B dot length will return what? It will return 2. I plus plus, for j equal to 0, j is less than b0. Here I is what? I is 0. The b0 dot length, it will return 3. Then s is equal to s plus b plus 0 ka 0, that is 10. Then 0 ka 1, that is 20. Then 0 ka, then 0 का 2, that is 30. So 10, 20, 30 will be added in S, then it will return to this. Now I will be 1, 0, 1, 1 and 1, 2. So that is 40, 50 and 60. This 40, 50, 60 will be added to the sum of 10, 20, 30. Okay. So basically in GetSum function what we are doing nothing, but we are adding all the elements of the 2-dimension array. Here what we have written, Java provides an attribute length. Java provides an attribute length that determines the length of an array. That determines the length of an array. Every array has an inbuilt length properties whose value is size of the array. Size implies the total number of elements that an array contains. Okay. So what is length? Length is an attribute, or you can say it's a property. Java provides an attribute length that determines the length of an array. Every array has an inbuilt length properties whose value is the size of the array. Size implies the total number of elements that an array contains. So here it will sum all the elements of the array and it will return S. S contains what? S contains the sum of all the elements of the array that is received in B. So what B is holding? B is holding 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So it will be stored in sum system.out.println. The sum is, it will be displayed sum, that is equivalent to 210. Then again we are defining a reference to a 2-dimension array, int D. D is what? D is a reference. We are not defining an array. What is D? D is a reference. D is equal to get array. Get array is again a user defined function. We are calling to get array. We are making a call to a get array function. Now what we are doing in get array? In get array we are defining one array, int 2-dimension array C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, return C. Here we are having how many rows? 3 rows. And how many columns? 3 columns. So we are defining an array of 3 by 3. In main we are defining an array of 2 by 3. Here we are defining an array of 3 by 3. Nothing special about 3 by 3. It depends upon you. Then we are returning a reference. C is what? C is a reference of this 2-dimension array which is received in D. What is D? D is a reference of 2-dimension array. Then int I comma j, product is equal to 0. So with the help of this D we are calculating the product of complete array. Product plus D I comma j. So what I will get? Again we are writing sum, or you can say here this like this. Getting my point? So product equal to product into D comma I comma j. Sorry, or you can say so everything will be 0. This product will be initialized with 1. Fine. So we are calculating the product and we are displaying the product of 2-dimension array. Now let's execute this program. We will see what will be the output. Output is 210 and 362880. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7 into 8 into 9 into 10. Okay. Any doubt you can ask me, otherwise we will stop here. So in this way we can pass a 2-dimension array to a function and we can return a 2-dimension array from a function. So with the help of reference of an array we can pass and we can return an 2-dimension array or a multi-dimension array to a function or from a function. Now let's see here that what we have done, we have written here. Here in main function we have defined 2-dimension array and it is passed to the function getSum. That we have already done. We are defining one 2-dimension array here, int AR is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and which is passed to the getSum function. That we have already done. Here in main function we have defined two dimension array and pass it to the function getSum. The getSum function collects the reference to the two dimension array passed to it in B. Now what getSum function is doing? It is receiving that reference in B. What is B? B is a reference to a two dimension array. And with the help of this reference, it is adding all the elements. Using this reference, it then access all the array elements and add them up. The sum is returned to the main function. So basically what we are doing, we are defining one two dimension array in a main function. We are passing that array to a getSum function. getSum function receives that array in a reference, and with that help of reference, it is calculating the sum of every element and returning back to the main function. Main calls the function getArray. Then we are calling another function called getArray. getArray will getArray will return one reference to a two dimension array which will be received in int two dimension array D. Here D is equal to getArray. What is D? D is a reference to a two dimension array whose type is integer. D is equal to getArray. Now what we are doing? Main calls the function getArray. This function defines another another two dimension array C and returns its reference to the main. When control returns to the main function, even though the reference C dies, see here, even though the reference C dies, since the reference D points to a two dimension array, the array does not be collected by the garbage collector in the main function. What we have written ki in Java there is no need to deallocate memory. That is taken care by garbage collector. What is garbage collector? It's a predefined function which is used to get back the memory which is not referenced by any reference in Java. So D is referring to, even C is what? C is a local variable. C is what? C is a local variable of this getArray function. Now as the control goes out of this scope, this C dies. C dies, but C is what? C is a reference to this two dimension array. C तो die हो गया, but ये जो array को refer कौन करने लग गया? This D. तो गार्बेज कलेक्टर क्या करेगा कि इस टू डायमेंशन एरे को अब कोई और रिफर कर रहा है, कौन रिफर कर रहा है? डी कर रहा है, तब तक वो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 को फ्री नहीं करेगा. इट विल बी नॉट कलेक्टेड बाय द गार्बेज कलेक्टर function. Even though the reference C dies, since the reference D points to a two dimension array, the array does not collected by the garbage collector. In main, with reference we are calculating the product of the elements. What does it means? The moral of the story is कि when we pass or return an array, we have to pass or return a reference from or to a array. तो जब भी अगर किसी भी फंक्शन में एरे को पास करना है या किसी भी फंक्शन से एरे को रिटर्न करना है, तो द बेस्ट वे इज टू पास अ रेफरेंस टू अ फंक्शन एंड टू रिटर्न अ रेफरेंस फ्रॉम अ फंक्शन. इट इज एग्जैक्टली सेम एज C and C++. बिलीव मी, in C and C++ what we are passing? We are passing the name of the array. Name of the array what? Name of the array gives the base address of the zeroth element of the array. Same thing is applicable here. Here D is not giving the base address. Why? Because Java doesn't support pointers explicitly. तो Java ने इसको क्या बोल दिया? D is not a pointer, it's a reference. What is reference? Reference is a constant pointer which is automatically dereferenced by the compiler. That we are learning from the C++ के जमाने से. What is reference? Reference is a constant pointer. What does it mean? It cannot point to another location. Once it will start pointing to a particular location. अगर वो किसी एक particular location को point करने लग गया, तो प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट करते करते वो किसी और को पॉइंट नहीं कर सकता. That is why it's a constant pointer and which is automatically dereferenced. Now if you want to access a value with the help of pointers in C and C++, we have to derefer with an asterisk sign. Getting my point? What we are doing in C and C++? See here. Now if you are having a pointer, what I write? Int star p is equal to end of a, int a Now if you want to access the value using P, what you are writing? Cout less than value at P. So what is this? This is a dereferencing operator. Means if you want to access value using pointer, you have to explicitly dereferenced. Whereas in case of references, this what references says, reference is a constant pointer which is automatically dereferenced by the compiler. मतलब अगर reference के through अगर value को access करना है तो there is no need to write value at P. It is directly accessed using P. So in Java doesn't support pointer explicitly. Implicitly तो होगा ही होगा, एक चीज मान के रखिएगा, क्योंकि पॉइंटर्स नहीं हो, क्योंकि देखिए without memory no application can execute, and if you want to access memory you need pointers, because they are having addresses, and addresses can be only stored in what? Pointers. But Java says Java is a internet programming language where security plays a very important role. That is why what Java says, वो सारे काम आप हमको करने दीजिए. So in Java, these addresses are not directly accessed by the user. They are accessed by the Java programming language. तो Java के अंदर उन्होंने pointers explicitly user को use करने के लिए नहीं दिया. उन्होंने क्या बोल दिया? Use references. What are references? References are nothing but a constant pointer which is automatically dereferenced by the compiler. So when I am writing int bracket D, so what is D here? D is a reference. Referring to what? Referring to a two-dimension array. Getting my point? So this is how we can pass an two-dimension array to a function, and we can return a two-dimension array from a function. Go through this. If any doubt, you can ask me in the comment box. I will try to return it back in 24 hours. This is very important. Java provides an attribute length that determines the length of an array. Every array has an inbuilt length properties whose value is the size of the array. I think we should stop here. If you like the contents of the channel, please like, share and subscribe as much you can. It will motivate us. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.